I just want a burger right now, a nice big burger. Just broccoli, I guess. Okay, I'm actually gonna, I know we're on a time clock here, there's a timer here, but I'm gonna slow things down just a little bit. And I want you guys all everyone just bear with me, but just close your eyes, please. Everyone just close your eyes. How about that? I'm gonna leave the stage, no, just kidding. Yeah, no. Yeah, just close your eyes. I want you to, please, think back. Ooh, does it work here, button? There we go. I want you to think back to the first time that you met someone who became a mentor to you. Maybe it was a teacher, a coach, or a family member. Maybe someone who didn't even know they had that title in your life yet. Now I want you to picture a moment where you were. What did they say? What did they do? What stood out to you? How did you feel when you first met them? Were you nervous? Were you intimidated? Were you inspired? Did you feel like you had something to prove to them? Or did you feel like finally someone saw you for who you were and was giving you space? What made them a mentor in your eyes? Was it the way they listened to you? The way they maybe challenged you? Maybe the way they just showed up again and again? You can open your eyes now. Oh, maybe. There we go. Who here, show of hands, how many of you were able to picture someone specific as a mentor? Hands up. Yeah. Now keep your hands up. Keep your hands up if you can. Hands up, please, yeah. If you could, maybe right now, if I were to ask you to go into great detail about that person, like who they are, who they were, how they spoke, how they taught you, and why they mattered. Yeah, hands down. So let me ask you a different question. How many of you, show of hands, see yourself as that special mentor? Hands up. You know, it's so interesting, isn't it? So many of us describe our mentors in detail, to great lengths, describing detailed moments in their lives that we have with that person. But when it comes to ourselves, we deeply hesitate. And why is that? Why are we our own worst critics? Why is it so hard for us to believe that we are the person that someone might just look to for support, for guidance, or to listen to? You know, the truth is, if you've ever listened with intention, there we go. If you've ever listened with intention or encouraged someone to keep going, walk beside them somewhere through struggle, you are a mentor. If you've been there for them, you are that person. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to show up. That's it. You've made a difference. You know, I know that I'll never forget that first moment when someone even whispered the word mentor around me. I was like, what? Get out of here. What are you like? What you talking about? Like, no, hold on, right? You know, that's crazy talk. Or just like, really? Am I that old? Hold on. Like, it's almost like like, wait a second, right? So actually the Polaroid pictures is a great example of teaching some fellow GEOC members about what a Polaroid does. It shake them. They're like, no, these are new ones, Rusty. Don't shake them. I'm like, you still gotta shake the Polaroid pictures. Yes, you do. But you know, the first time you heard about what a Polaroid picture was, right? Not Polaroid, sorry. What a mentor was in my mind now. That's right. See, maybe I am old. I don't know. You know, that moment you realize that maybe you are that person, right? The more I thought about that, and when people ask me, is that, well, maybe that's the thing is, we're just figuring life out like everyone else in the room. You know, there's nothing different, special, but just we are the same as them, right? Mentors are not flawless. They're just real. They care, and they walk beside you, with you. They listen. All right. Now, the outdoors is a special place for mentorship, and I think it ties in nicely with our theme today. You know, the outdoor learning has a way of making mentorship real. There's no role-playing on the backcountry trail. You can't make things up. You have to be real. You have to be authentic. You have to be who you are. And importantly, you must be you at all times. There's no times to wear a different ball cap or pretend that you know some magic knowledge about snow safety or the water safety. Like, you have to be who you are at all times. You know, out there, mentorship, it doesn't come from a title or a resume or a big job description. It comes from how you show up and who you show up with. When the weather turns, when the compass fails you, when the group's tired, hungry, when you reach that big summit and that awesome view, that's when real mentorship reveals itself. There's no other ways, but it will show up. Along the way, of course, there's some trail markers, though, that maybe might help some of you. I think I saw only about, in this room, full of 400 plus people, a typical average Alberta classroom. I saw about five hands go up for mentorship, right? There's some markers, though, that showed that there's some markers that maybe you are a typical mentor. First thing is showing up. Show up with your boots on, right? Do you show up? Are you there for people? Are you there consistently for them? Not just when things are easy. Are you running around from A to B with things in your mind? Someone stops you for a question. You're like, yeah, hold on. I can give you space. I have time for this. Do you show up for them? Do you walk beside them, not ahead of them? This is a big one. I think as leaders, we take pride in leading our groups and our people, and we want to, but we know that leadership is often from behind or not seen. And for mentorship, we want to walk beside them, not ahead of them. Let others lead. Let others fail, right? Not like, see them, no, but test them out, right? Test them out that way. Let them make mistakes. That's what trust is made, when you know that you can let someone go a certain way, and you're like, yeah, I got you. Your safety net is here. And the best thing is to pause. Pause that summit, right? Take the time to reflect together, share stories, celebrate those progress, celebrate when you see your mentor or people around you do these amazing things, right? Breathe in that view, maybe eat that burger, right? Slow down a little bit together, right? Share that time. The biggest thing, though, is that nature, the wild, doesn't care about your credentials, right? It cares about how you treat the people around you when things get uncomfortable, right? It's like the old saying, right? People are there in your life for you when you're a success and you're a high, but when you're in those tough times, right, are they there for you? Same mentorship, right? When things get uncomfortable, who are people around you? And how can you be there for someone else as well, right? It humbles us. Nature finds ways to humble us. It always does, right? It teaches us to lead authenticity, right? We have to be authentic at all times. All right, passing the torch. Again, not retiring yet. I got some time left, but all right, maybe. We'll see. No, but over time, I've started to realize, that mentorship is less about giving answers. It really is. It's more about creating space for people, creating space. Like this amazing conference here. So grateful for all the pillars and organizations because this has made space for every single person here to be part of something special, a community practice. A trail I'm always walking. It never stops walking on. This role I have now, whether it be a mentor or not officially, I'm always going to be walking on it. I hope forever. I learn just as much as I give. Every student, every colleague I meet, every misstep, every success, it helps shape me too. And that's the biggest thing about mentorship is that it's not just about the people around you. It is really about yourself as well, and that's okay. It's not being selfish. It's okay. The safe space that we have, right, to foster this effective mentoring relationship is crucial to creating these safe spaces and welcoming environments. Mentees should feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, fears, and ideas without judgment all the time, just like our classrooms and our students. This safe space encourages open communication, honesty, growth, allowing mentees to express themselves freely and explore their potential, always. I'll slowly finish up here on the legacy. So maybe ask you again, in this room, and this time maybe let's think deeply this time. Where are my mentors at? Who here is a mentor, right? And now, like right now today, like if you think hardly about it, think big time. Who are you actually mentoring, whether you realize it or not? There's someone out there who's watching you, watching how you carry yourself always, how you handle the hard days, how you treat others, and without knowing it, you've already probably helped them lace their boots. You've walked that trail with them. Let's stop waiting for someone to tell you that you are a mentor for them. Let's start living like we already are for them. Because out there on the trail, in nature, in our classrooms, what matters most isn't that we lead perfectly, it's that we walk together. As I wrap things up here, I just want to thank you for walking this little TED Talk with me, but maybe it'll continue to lead with your heart, mentor with purpose, and remember that the outdoors isn't just where we teach, it's also where we grow. We plant our seeds that way. So, yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you.